From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big Sunday early mornings broadcast here on LALATE with incredible details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In this recording, we'll go over the great news as we go to the voting starting tomorrow. The voting process starts this week coming up as the president calls the recon vote to start. And Jalopal speaking out as well. We have the breaking details from the president, from Jalopal, and the progressives about next week's events. Then we'll be turning to how much you're going to get into this fourth stimulus check and how much the Democrats want that stimulus check to be. And then we turn to the exciting news of fifth stimulus and the big raising up of your benefits lifetime this fall. But the breaking news out of the Federal Reserve of St. Louis on Friday signals your benefits could be potentially going a lot higher than anyone thought. And then we turn to the thousands of dollars you can get across the board. It's a big Sunday with a lot of money to get, even on a Sunday. The toast is toasted, the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here. Let's get to the breaking news. Let's get the coffee. Let's get my bacon. This is Early Mornings LALATE. Are you crushing the weekend? I hope you are crushing the weekend. I hope the weekend's not crushing you. And how's the weather where you are? Saturday was beautiful here in Santa Monica, California. It was wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Could not ask for a better day of weather. So how's the weather where you are? Show up in the live chat right now and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we're going to be going over next week's events, calling the vote. What does that mean? What Jalopal and what Schumer and the president saying going into next week. We'll also be going over the monthly stimulus check, how much those Democrats want to give you in the fourth stimulus package. Then we turn to fifth stimulus that heats up this fall, and the incredible news about not just a fifth stimulus check, but also the incredible news about raising your benefits up a lifetime and the new benchmark, which got big updates on Friday. Then we turn to the big exciting details of thousands of dollars of money you can get right now, even on a Sunday. And this is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live on air and then taped in the afternoons. At the time of this broadcast, also airing live on the channel is Overnight's Crypto. Stay with this video 6 seconds after this video is over. It will take you right into Overnight's Crypto. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes. Every like helps deliver an extra pizza to you. Almost got you there. Well, I'm going to keep on going with that because I think it may work eventually. And consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and pin comment. Let's get right into that free pizza. No, let's get right into fourth stimulus starting right now. Monthly stimulus check, yes. Differ from the House or Senate, yes. Let's compare the House versus Senate, which differs on both the number of checks and the monthly payout. Here we go. House, stimulus check, monthly. Pandemic plus 1 year. Senate, July to December, so less checks for the Senate. Let's look at the monthly payouts. Well, those monthly payouts differ as well. When we're looking at the Senate, then those monthly payouts run for a shorter amount of time, but also pay a little bit different. When we're looking at House or Senate, it's important to understand that the House wants to pay $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. Senate amount is unknown, but word on the street, the senators want to pay you this. Wow. That is wonderful. That is per person, and that is reportedly what the senators want to pay you of the Democrats. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000, or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. That's per person. Get ready to vote if you're watching the show at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on a Sunday morning, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. But first, let's go back to look at something here. Yeah. Pandemic plus 1 year. Well, the legislators may contend the pandemic's over. So that may reduce Jalopal's House bill to 12 months of stimulus checks, or 12 checks, which is $13,000 of the House bill. Compare that to this from the senators over 6 months. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. All right, vote now. Get into the live chat right now and vote House or Senate. I want to hear from you. House or Senate, vote House or Senate and tell me where you're tuning in from. And how's the weather? Boy, let's go over who gets that fourth stimulus check. Who gets it? You do. Democrats want everyone who got a third stimulus check to get a fourth stimulus check. So, single individual less than 75,000, Democrats want that person to have a fourth stimulus check. Married couple 150,000 or less, Democrats want that couple to have a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Household 4 or less, Democrats want that family to have a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, STI, Social Security, Railroad Benefits, SSA, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. There you go. Congratulations. The fourth stimulus check is not income. No. It is not income, so it's not taxable. But this fourth stimulus check is a monthly stimulus check. It's not a check that comes in waves. So it's not a waivable check. So if you're at the beach today and you see the check on the boardwalk, say, hey, check, checking you out. How you doing? Didn't respond back to me, that rude check. It's not a waivable check. Can't check you out and can't respond back to you. So don't check out the check. It won't be a response back to you. It's not a waivable check. And, checking out the check is, be careful. So there you go. That's the non-waivable check. The Democrats would be giving you this fourth stimulus check in the month of July. That means that you would get the check for July in the month of July. In the month of August, for the month of August, because the final vote would be by July 4th. And there you go. Check it out. That's the end of our first of 3 parts of our fourth stimulus check of 2021 update. Coming up in the second part, we go over the exciting details as Jalopal speaks, President speaks, Schumer speaks, and going into next week's exciting events. I'll have all the breaking details. And in the third part of this fourth stimulus check update, we'll be going over what next week's voting means for you and what will happen and what won't happen. But first, here's like a preview of the second half of this video. It's fifth stimulus, and fifth stimulus has another stimulus check. Don't check that one out either. That's another stimulus check. But it'll also raise your benefits up a lifetime. And on Friday, we learned a little bit more about how high these benefits may go, that they potentially could go upwards of 10% additional. This is astronomical news. It's coming up in the second half of this video. But let's get some money. It's Sunday, and it's time to get some money. Well, that's what I do on this channel. I give people money. When the pandemic was hitting, I got people $25 million of EIDL loans to save their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes. And then fall of 2020, we didn't know a second stimulus was going to pass. So I got viewers $250,000 of rent and utilities just in time to pay their bills. Well, we're sort of at the same place now because we're waiting for fourth stimulus to pass and you need money. So let's get that money. Get a pen and paper ready. And if it must be a Crayola crown, I hope you have black because you have to match me. Get that ready because I got a lot of money to get you. Stay with me to the end of this video. We're going to start with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners utilities, and the excitement starts with that rent. It's a lot. It's about $5,000, 4 to 6 months of rent. Yes. So what I'm going to show you is different places to get that money, but each has their own eligibility. So if one says no, reach out to the next. All right, you ready with that pen and paper, Crayola, black crown? Here we go. You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, or your state housing authority. And the keywords you're going to use are rent assistance because of COVID, rent assistance because of COVID. Or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say words that they don't know, like stimulus or San Francisco hairstyle. They don't know those. They're like, sir, I did not know there's a San Francisco hairstyle. Oh, you call that hairstyle? Yeah, they don't know that. So don't say words they don't know. And I had one viewer on Friday show who said, I reached out to my city, I couldn't find it. Got to reach out to the county and the state. We had that problem in Louisiana in fall of last year. There was nothing at the city level, but the state housing authority had a lot of money. So we had that problem in a lot of states. So don't worry. Reach out to your county and your state as well. Congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this money. But boy, the next pot of money is wonderful. If you got to $100, 100 pennies, or $1,000 or $100,000 for this channel, jump in the live chat right now and say what you got because everyone who gets something inspires someone else, inspires me as well. It inspires us to get the money. This week, we had someone get $5,000 for this next pot of money. Last week, someone who got $6,000 to $7,000. Lynn Glenn got it for herself and her mom and her son, and Gail got it. What is it? It's Snap. It's Snap. It's a big success story of this channel. How do you get Snap? What is Snap? You reach out to Department of Agriculture. It's money for your food. How much does it pay? A lot. A lot. A family of four in Hawaii now gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Wow. Why so much money? Because of two wonderful executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raise everyone's benefits up between now and December. 15%. So go get it. Go get it. $16,000 for SNAP for a family of four in Hawaii. $5,000 approximately for rent. You're killing it. We're killing it. We're only 10 minutes of this video. Well, I got more money for you right now. And it's about $5,000. It's money coming back from your state. Let's go over the details. The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment assistance due to computer error. Not your computer. Your computer works fine. It's their darn computer. And the federal government said, no, that was the citizens' money to keep, and it was your computer to go fix. So the federal government has ordered the states to return the money back to you. One viewer got $5,000 from this. So how do you receive it? On the account that you have on file with your state. When do you receive it? How do you track it? Call up your state's unemployment department and politely say, hi, I'd like to track when my money is coming back. But don't track it with the computer. It doesn't work. There you go. Finally, our last pot of money. It's coming back from IRS, and viewers continue to get it. If you got it as well, jump in the live chat. Cod got it. Margaret got it. Michael got it. A lot of viewers continue to get it. What is it? It's that money. Let's go over how much, when, and where, and tracking time. First, how much? It's the amount you pay taxes on. So let's say you had let's say you had $9,000 on unemployment assistance. You paid $5,000 total tax bill, of which $4,000 was your taxes on the unemployment benefits. You're getting back $4,000. Congratulations. Where? To the accounts you have on file, otherwise in the mail. When? This month. And can you track it? Yes. Go to irs.gov. Set up a username and password. 70% of the time, this works. It's called a transcript search. You go in there and you search for the transcript search. It'll reveal the tax return you filed, the taxes you paid, the enchilada you bought yesterday, the pizza you're delivering to me, and then finally the refund check you're getting back from IRS. And there you go. Wow. Can we top that with better news? We can. With the second of your 3 updates of the fourth stimulus check of 2021 in this recording starting right now. Here we go. Next week, the voting started. The voting is started next week on the reconciliation bill. The President of the United States has said you must start the reconciliation voting started next week. And there away we go. Jalapa, progressives, and the President spoke out about the situation. Let me go over their comments. On Friday, some of their comments confused some viewers because they spoke in a double negative. Like, I do not like to speak in double negatives. It's just, they're confusing when people do that. So I'm going to read the quote for you and then explain the quote. So it's important to understand it. First, Jalapal said in a double negative, the White House has not in any way told us not to do what we're doing. Let's say it again. The White House has not in any way told us progressives not to do what us progressives are doing. That's wonderful news, but let me explain it to you a second. And then Brian Schatz, Democrat of Hawaii, says the White House has repeatedly reassured him that the White House considers the progressive priorities the White House's priorities, and that the White House has not asked progressives to stop doing what they're doing. Wow, that's wonderful news. Now I'll explain to you what that means. Fourth stimulus is a bill written by Congress, not written by the president, but he does say what he wants in there. And he's made very clear that 2 provisions that he has come up with that he wants in there must be in there, or he's not going to sign the bill and he'll veto it. They are both progressive policies. 1, climate. 2, the CARES economy, which refers to seniors and medicine. He has made very clear he wants those 2 progressive policies in the fourth stimulus package. And guess who's making sure they stay in there? The progressives, of course. The president is loving them for loving him by taking care of his 2 progressive policies in there. To which the president says, thank you. And to which he also says to them, and I will love whatever progressive policies of your own that you put in there. And you know what progressive policy of their own they're also putting in there? monthly stimulus checks. So you see how the sort of the I rub your back, you rub my back situation is. The president wants his two progressive policies in there, climate and cares economy. And the progressives want their progressive policy in there, monthly stimulus checks. And together they are working hand in hand to get it to the finish line. There you go. Really exciting news. But how did we get to this wonderful spot? We got this wonderful spot the Friday before Memorial Day weekend when Leader Schumer announced three things. One, the reconciliation process was already underway. Two, it'll end by July 4th with a vote on July 4th. And three, it'll end with a passage. How did we get there? When we got there with Jalapa. There we go, Jalapa again. Jalapa had written written Schumer a letter saying, call the vote, Chuck. Call the vote on the recon. Well, that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats who had previously written the president a letter with 100 plus other House Democrats saying, Mr. President, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks at the fourth stimulus package. Wow. Now that is wonderful news. Can we top that? We can. When about 7 days ago, 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, Mr. President, when we go writing for stimulus, we're going to be writing monthly stimulus checks in there. Who are these people to say that? What do they do for a living? What is their job criteria? They're on the House subcommittee that is solely and exclusively responsible for writing stimulus checks. Did they write the first stimulus check? They did. Did they write the second stimulus check? They did. Did they write our third stimulus check? They did. And now they say they're marking up the bill for the fourth stimulus check, which they say has a monthly stimulus check in there. Now that's wonderful news. Are they writing a fifth stimulus check? Are they writing a fifth stimulus check? They are. And that's coming up in the second half of this video. Wow. Can we top that? We can. As the president has now signed into law a provision internationally which anchors fourth stimulus to the finish line, to the edge of the finish line, because now the provisions about corporate taxes are no longer needed in there, making it easier to pass fourth stimulus. Let me explain how this happened, and I'll explain what it means. It started a few weeks ago on a Tuesday where I said, the president did something complicated. I need to slow down and explain this because this is too complicated. Well, I'm going to slow it down again right now. It started with the president announcing that fourth stimulus would be paid for by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate. That's the rate that corporations pay in taxes in the United States. But the president has said at the time, I'm worried that if I raise the corporate tax rate, corporations may leave the United States and go to another country where the corporate tax rate is lower. So the president reached out to those other countries. And they said, yeah, we'll raise our rates. And so finally, he said, that's great. He reached out to his legislative team and said, I like how this is going. In December, while we're exchanging caramel popcorn for the holidays, let's go back and get those countries to sign on the dotted line about this. And if they do, then I'll remove the provisions for fourth stimulus is no longer needed. Well, he surprised us all. Biden did it. A week ago, yesterday, the president went overseas for his first international trip as president and got the G7 countries to sign on the dotted line now. Not in December with the caramel popcorn, but now with the summer popcorn. Anchoring fourth stimulus to the edge of the finish line because now the provisions about international and businesses and corporate taxes are no longer needed in fourth stimulus because they're in the international agreement, making it easier for the Democrats to pass the fourth stimulus now in June and July. Wow, now that's wonderful news. Can we top that news? We can, with the third part of our fourth stimulus check update, which is coming up right after this commercial break, and the exciting details about the fifth stimulus check and that fifth stimulus raising of your benefits. But first, some even better news. The volunteers. If you need help with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, or SNAP, reach out to the volunteers. They embody the Purple Power spirit. People helping people. This is what this channel is about. People stepping forward to help people. And so if you need to reach out to them, you can. Go to the description of this video. In the description of this video, open it up, and then you're going to see an emoji of a house. Next to the emoji of the house, it says community page. Click the community page. It sends you to news.lalate.com/community. On there is a series of volunteers separated from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Reach out to them, and they'll help you get that rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, mortgage utilities, or SNAP. They can't make you a tostada. They can't pick up your dry cleaning. and they can't give you the recipe for my pineapple upside down cake. So don't ask them those questions. Don't ask them to do something other than what's covered in this video. But they may know the directions to a San Francisco hair salon. And with that, I'll be back after the commercial break with more exciting details about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus on this Saturday early mornings broadcast. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LA with exciting details across the globe. I'm so excited you're joining me on this big Sunday Early Mornings broadcast. Coming up in the second half, more about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video and tell me if they delivered pepperoni or sausage. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay with this video right after it's over. 6 seconds after it's over, it will automatically take you to Overnight's Crypto, now airing on the channel. The hit show, a lot of fun, a live chat, a lot of friends, and a lot of familiar faces. Let's cut to fifth stimulus. A lot of breaking news. First, fifth stimulus check, yeah. Next year, yes. So those House Democrats want that fifth stimulus check to be in the fifth stimulus package. The voting of it, November-ish, December-ish, October-ish maybe. The legislative drafting, September, October, out the door, January. So this is a January 2022 check. Number two, the president has dedicated $1 billion to the Social Security Administration to ensure you get benefits on time going forward. Thank goodness. Third stimulus was a debacle. I did all these Direct Express by Comerica videos. I was just blue in the face about them. People's checks were late, weeks late. He just wants to ramp up everything. So he's dedicating $1 billion to ramp up all the computer systems and the people and the personnel to get your money. Now let's cut to the exciting details about fifth stimulus, which, as you know, has a lift up one time and then a new benchmark every December. That benchmark, you know, is inflation. But how high is the inflation rate going to be, and how much is it going to make your benefits soar? Let's go over what happened all this week into Friday. We had in the middle of the week the consumer price index and the producer price index signaling that we're just red hot on inflation. We're much higher than I thought. So we're probably about 4%, many analysts think, and we're heading up. We're heading up. Temporary or transitory spike at about 10% and then coming back down. Well, Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, appeared on the Capitol Hill on Wednesday, said, I can't talk about inflation because, of course not, he can. And but we need more stimulus for the economy. I'm not tapering off my stimulus. Good news for you. And then he said, we'll have 2 interest rate hikes, not this year, not next year, but the year after. Good. But then on Friday, the head of the Federal Reserve out of St. Louis, who is below him, below Jay Powell, said inflation is coming in too hot right now, hotter than we expected. Excuse me, you're not supposed to talk around your boss's back. Not good. But that's why Wall Street went straight down with that news. Straight down with that news. They did not expect that. And then he also said that the 2 interest rate hikes would be next year, not the year after. OMG. Well, let me go over how that impacts your fifth stimulus. This is huge. Fifth stimulus, let's go over what it involves first, and then we'll apply the analysis. It'll raise your benefit limits up, then adds an inflationary benchmark, removes the income, the asset exclusion, income exclusion, and marriage penalty. Let's go over the calculation of this. First, your benefits raise up one time under fifth stimulus. This is you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, SSA, multiple benefits, raises up one time. Then they apply a benchmark. That benchmark is inflation. Well, they say we're at 4%. They say we're going up. You have to hope that when they apply that benchmark of inflation the first time in November-ish, December-ish, that the inflation rate is at that peak, at that height, before it goes down. Because imagine how huge and wonderful it will be for your benefits. If the inflation rate does peak at 10%, and it does peak when they're applying the benchmark, then your benefits would raise up 10%. Not just next year, but lifetime. That's on top of the one-time lift under fifth stimulus. This is huge. This is a big difference. This is leaps and bounds more money than SS200. This is just astronomically big. Then they're going to remove the asset cap dating back to 1960s law that says you can't stay on benefits and have more than $3,000 in hand, just in time to get some stimulus checks in your hand. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. And finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. Love is going to win, and you will be able to marry your longtime love interest and no longer fear loss of benefits or be penalized because you're married. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer fear the marriage penalty. And there you go. That's fifth stimulus. But it's important to know that there's a lot more money in fifth stimulus than that. There's a lot more money in fourth stimulus, and there's fortunes of money in third stimulus right now for you to get available for you right now. Third stimulus has thousands and thousands of dollars for some viewers, and it's important to know you need to go get it. It's generally application-based. It's not automatic. So you don't know what it is unless you learn about it. And how do you learn about it? By becoming a member. Daily as members, I deliver to you a breakdown via the YouTube community page, what's in third stimulus, what's in fourth stimulus, and what's in fifth stimulus, so that you can have that information and go get the money. If you're at the live chat right now in this video, you'll see people that have purple hawk emojis next to their names. They are members. And so they're delivered daily, the breakdown of those PDFs of everything that's in third stimulus for you to go get it. There you go, thousands of dollars, which brings us to the final third part of our fourth stimulus check update of 2021 is starting right now. Wow, a lot of details. First, a personal message, then the voting time, then the fake narratives expected for next week, and finally, Purple Power Push. First, it's important to know that these legislators are, first, my personal message. It's important to know these legislators are currently marking up the bill. That's what they said. What does marking up the bill mean? It means they have a draft of the bill in their hand, and they got a pen in the other side of the hand. The pen has ink on one side and an eraser on the other. And at any time, they could be erasing something from the bill that you want in there or adding something in there that you like. So at no time should anyone be sitting back and doing the stimulus psychic network reads. You should not be sitting back and saying, hey, do you think we're going to get, I heard, what do you think we're going to, it's not done until it's done. And so that's why we have 3 emojis on this channel since second stimulus. They are not law yet, not bill yet, and DOTA. So if anyone tells you it's a finality, it's not a finality. If anyone asks you what date it's going out, donut. If anyone asks you what day is, how many checks or what's the amount, it's not a finality. Legislators make changes, and it's important to understand those changes can go down to the final 48 hours. So let's go over those changes starting right now. You're hearing this for the first time on Early Mornings LA with greater detail. It's important to understand that the changes happen at step 5 and step 7 and 8 of the 9-step voting process that starts next week. Step 1, the House calls a vote on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 1, the House subcommittee calls up a vote on procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate votes on the procedural bill. Step 4, the President signs into law the procedural bill. At this point, the tow truck is passed over the finish line. Here we go. The very important Step 5, the House subcommittee that's currently marking up the bill, that has vowed to put monthly stimulus checks in there, finishes marking up the bill and calls it for a vote. They can have stimulus checks in there, or they may choose not to. Step 6, the bill goes to the House floor. Step 7 and 8, here we go, the 2-day critical vote-a-rama in the Senate. The senators receive what the House has just passed in bill format. The senators have 3 possibilities. 1, there's no stimulus check in there from the House bill. Senators amend and add it in there. 2, the House has stimulus checks in there and the senators love it and leave it alone. Or 3, the House has stimulus checks in there, but the senators want to amend it. And Step 9, the president signs into law. One of the things I mentioned a few times yesterday, but I think other times I forgot to mention, is that they can do several of these steps on the same day together, with the exception of the vote-a-rama, which has to span a certain number of hours. Next, fake narratives. There's going to be a lot of fake narratives next week. And some of them start off right. The funniest fake narratives are the following: that there's always a series of certain Democrats, and you know who they are, who say something like, well, Linda, I got this tow truck out back that has the Brussels sprouts bill in it, and I'm going to open up the tow truck and dump this Brussels sprouts bill on everyone. And if you don't include something for my Brussels sprouts, then I'm voting against you. They do this every single time. Nancy did this with a San Francisco bridge or something in second stimulus and was like, what, Nance? And she took it out. Bernie's done this like 3 times. I don't know how many times Bernie said this. I want this thing and I'm going to hold it up. And then suddenly he gets up and says, okay, I'll try again. They fold like lawn chairs. They love it there. So they do this. So they already started last Friday. Certain Democrats say, I want my thing. And if they don't get there, okay, whatever. Take it out. I'll have to have frozen Brussels sprouts or something. They're going to do it again. So that's the first thing I want you to be prepared about. Second thing I want you to be prepared about is conservative media has constantly on second and third stimulus done this narrative during the final weeks of any voting, where they try to pigeonhole a Democrat as a story of why something's not going to pass. And they've often used Joe Manchin as the storyline. Joe Manchin's voting for forced stimulus. So they love doing this. They'll choose someone else. Who knows who they're going to choose? They're going to choose someone in someone off the wall. And they say, hey, there's a person. And suddenly it's not going to pass. And they're not going to get anything. So they love to do that. And they've done a second stimulus, and they did a third stimulus. So I want you to sort of distract yourself from that. Finally, the excitement is really brewing up. And it's important to know that, at any time, these legislators with the ink on one side and the eraser on the other side could make an edit as marking up the bill. So your purple power pushing has been perfect, and you don't want to stop. Legislators want to know that you need a stimulus check. And so go on social media, hashtag Purple Power, hashtag MSC, tag the Democratic senators, tag the House senators, tag the progressives as well, the progressive members, the progressive Twitter accounts, like the progressive House count, progressive House chair, vice chair, same over at the Senate, because they are the people fighting for everything, pushing for everything that you want. And finally, if you don't use social media, then use the telephone, the old-fashioned way. Pick up the phone and call their offices in D.C. Speak to their staffers. Be professional. Express your concern and your desire of what should be included. Remember, if you're on social media and you do know social media, retweeting is very quick. So you can not only draft new tweets, but you can also retweet another one. Find tweets from other viewers by searching for hashtag MSC all together, and you'll see those tweets, and they'll say, "Oh, there's some retweet." You can retweet 100 or so tweets in just a few minutes, in just an hour or so, or half an hour, or 20 minutes. And those elected officials, they got social media on their phones. They'll see your tweets this weekend, and they'll go in the office and say, "I got smashed with 300 tweets asking about stimulus checks. We got to do that." They will hear your messaging. That is what works. And understand that Thursday's numbers were out for new jobless claims. These are people newly unemployed that were never unemployed before during the pandemic. And the number was bad. The number was bad. It showed a rise of new unemployment claims. People who had never been unemployed before during this pandemic went on unemployment. So we need stimulus. That number shows we need stimulus. Your statements show we need stimulus. The Federal Reserve Chair is still supporting stimulus. We're not fully out of this pandemic yet. Businesses are still struggling. People are still struggling. Unemployment numbers are still high. So there's a lot of reasons to be pushing. And with that, always stay positive. I love the positivity you have been bringing. Ultimately, we are not here to predict anything. We are not here to give our guesstimate or say, what do I believe or what do I think? We are here to push. We are here to push to the finish line because legislators legislate. And until there's a bill, until there's a law, there can always be a change. And you want that change to be in your favor, not against you. So with that, subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. Oh, but wait, right after this video, you can automatically go into Overnight's crypto. So stay with this video. 6 seconds after it's done, it sends you into automatically into Overnight's crypto, currently playing live on the channel. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. I want you to be part of this community and part of this entire narrative. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video. It delivers free pizza. Pepperoni on its way. And consider becoming a member. Be delivered daily what's in the third, fourth, and fifth stimulus to you. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful Sunday morning. I'll be with you next with Mornings LALATE live on air at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.